A very good morning to all of you, dear students. Welcome to this online video class. Dear students, we have been discussing Chapter 9 Social Reforms in the Indian Society, Great Reforms and Reform Movement. In the previous video, we have discussed about some of the social reformers and their contribution. Today, we shall continue to discuss about other social reformers. To begin with Jyoti Rao Govindrao Phule, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. Dear students, Jyotirao Phule founded Satya Shodhak Samaj in the year 1873 and he was known as Mahatma Phule or Jyotiba by the people. He encouraged people of all faith and religion to join or to become the member of Satya Shodhak Samaj, and he promoted caste equality. He mainly worked for the upliftment of the oppressed classes. He fought against the dominance of Brahmin priests in the Indian society, and he opened many schools for the people belonging to the lower caste, and thus by giving importance to educate to the lower caste people who were mainly denied of education and many social benefits. Gopal Hari Deshmukh, Lokahitawadi and Ramabai Ranade were some other prominent social reformers in Western India. Ramabai fought for the cause of women's rights. A home for widows was set up by Ramabai in Pune for giving them vocational training. Next one is Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. He was a lecturer at the Hindu College of Calcutta from 1826 to 1831. He started the movement which was known as Young Bengal Movement, and his followers were known as Derogians, as per his name. The radical views and rebellious attitude alarmed the conservatives. He was very much inspired by the French Revolution and mainly some of the ideas of the French Revolution like liberty, fraternity and equality. Based on these ideas, he encouraged his students to think rationally. He declared that they could enjoy greater freedom if they are rational. He discarded the ideas of caste system. He condemned social evils and fought for the right to education for women. He was dismissed for being radical and revolutionary and died soon afterwards at the young age of 22. After his death, his followers and students continued to fulfill his dream of a liberal and modern society. So, Henry Louis Vivian Derozio wanted to bring liberty and to make a modern society through his young Bengal movement, but he died at the young age of 22, and his followers tried to or continue to fulfill his dream of a liberal and modern society. Next one is Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was another social reformer. He was a learned Sanskrit scholar and teacher. He was the principal of Sanskrit College in Calcutta and earned the title of Vidyasagar or Ocean of Learning. He was endured by the people for his simple lifestyle and selfless attitude. That means many people became dear to him. He became a favorite of many people because he led very simple life and he had a selfless attitude. He was completely dedicated to the cause of education. He gave much importance to bring education in the society. He encouraged students from all religions and castes to get admission in Sanskrit college, and at that time only Brahmins were allowed to study. Okay, so one side, look at that, only Brahmins were allowed to study in the college. At that same time, he encouraged people of all religions and castes to get admission in Sanskrit college. In college, he introduced the study of modern Western philosophy. He promoted the cause of welfare of widows and encouraged the idea of widow remarriage. It was mainly due to his efforts to encourage widow remarriage. The Widow Remarriage Act was passed in the year 1856. He also worked towards the education of women and helped drink water better to set up schools for girls in Calcutta in 1849. Moreover, a large number of schools were opened by him for girls and he financed these schools. Besides this, he strongly protested against polygamy and child marriage also. Next one is Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Swami Dayanand Saraswati was a brilliant Sanskrit scholar. He was born in a Gujarati family in the year 1824. Since childhood, he strongly opposed the ideal of idol worship and he also spoke out against the evil of idol worship. Then at the age of 14, he strongly opposed idol worship. In the year 1875, he founded Arya Samaj. He considered Vedas to be only true basis of Hinduism and attached great importance to them. And he tried to revive Hinduism or to rediscover Hinduism on the basis of the teaching of Vedas. And according to him, Vedas contained true knowledge and profound wisdom. He carried out work of propagating his teachings to the masses of the people of our country with the help of Arya Samaj. As he was the founder of Arya Samaj, with the help of the Arya Samaj, he wanted to propagate his idea and wanted to bring education to the mass of the people of our country. He believed in monotheism. Monotheism means believing in existence of a God, a single God, one God. So he believed in the existence of one God and completely rejected the ideas of idol worship. Religious reforms of Dayanand Saraswati. He encouraged people of all religions to join the Arya Samaj. He spread his knowledge to the people through the 10 basic principles which he laid down in the Arya Samaj. So he had given 10 basic principles in the Arya Samaj, and through these 10 basic principles he wanted to spread knowledge among the people. It was essential for every member of the Samaj to follow these principles laid down by him. The study of Vedas was the most important principles out of 10 principles. So those who become the member of this Samaj must study Vedas. Dayanand Saraswati has outlined his entire philosophy in his book Satyarth Prakash. According to Dayanand Saraswati, every person could directly communicate with God without the help of the priest. He raised voice against ritualistic religious practices. He strongly attacked many social evils like idol worship, then child marriage, and condemned caste differences and the spread of social inequalities. All such social evils were being practiced at his time. Okay, like idol worship, then child marriage, then caste differences, inequalities. So all these he strongly attacked and criticized. He encouraged the ideas of women's education and widows' remarriage. He also favored study of Western science because once women are educated and people, if they study Western sciences, then definitely all this would help them to bring social changes in the society. Educational reforms brought by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Orthodox Hindus disliked Dayanand for his revolutionary ideas. So Dayananda Saraswati was a revolutionary, wanted to bring revolutionary ideas and change. He has greatly emphasized on the studies of even Western philosophy and even Western science. With these studies, there will be some changes in the society, but Orthodox Hindus disliked his revolutionary ideas. They made several attempts to kill him. He drew attention of the people to the rich ancient past of India. Dayanand died in 1885. After his death, his followers carried on his work of reforming the Indian society. Dayanand Anglo-Vedic school, you might be knowing about DAV school, was established at Lahore in the year 1886 by Lala Hansraj. Subject of Vedas, the Western sciences were taught and they were included in the school curriculum. Later on, this school developed into a famous college. Soon a large number of schools, colleges, institutions were set up in different parts of India, which provided both scientific and spiritual knowledge to the students, those who studied. So today also there are so many DAV schools, right, which are run by this Samaj, which impart education to the people of our country. Next one is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a poor mystic saint. He was a spiritual person. He lived in the middle of 19th century at the Dakshineshwar temple in Calcutta. He led a very simple and humble life as he was a mystic and a spiritual person. He firmly believed in the unity of all religions, and according to whom all religions led to the same God, and that God was everywhere and in everything. Okay, so this was one of his main principle. Okay, he believed that all religions according to him were equal, or he believed in the unity of all religions, and according to him all religions led to the same God, and that God was everywhere and in everything. According to him, religious salvation could be achieved by man through means of meditation and devotion. So one could achieve salvation by the means of doing meditation and devotion, showing devotion to God. Many leading thinkers, scholars and reformers such as Keshav Chandra Sen and Dayananda Saraswati often came to listen to him and sought his spiritual guidance on various matters. So these social reformers also took some of the inspirational guidance from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So dear students, today we have discussed about important social reformers like Jyotirao Govindrao Phule, Henry Louis Gawan, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. In the upcoming video, we shall continue with many more social reformers. So try to watch this video and try to learn these social reformers' contribution for rebuilding and reviving our culture, our society, and bringing awareness and reforms in the society. Okay, thank you.